I want to say a warm welcome to everyone who just joined us. Welcome to Wheel of Wisdom, a place where the right message finds you. So let me take out our wheel, and as I take this out, I invite you to take out the answer as to what do I need guidance on today. So ask yourself, what do I need guidance today? What do I need support for? I'm messing up. Yeah. So, yeah, what do you need guidance or support on? So, bring that to your mind. And now hold that as we spin the wheel. Let's see what book universe wants to send our way. Ooh, love that. I was just thinking about something when I said that. I'm messing up. I was like, no, Anisha, a kinder voice. And then we got the book, which is called Kindfulness by Ajahn Brahm. So let's see what this beautiful book called Kindfulness has to offer us. Um, So this is our beautiful book, and it says don't just be mindful, be kindful. Kindfulness. Eric says kindfulness is always needed. Exactly. I was thinking the same, that we all can use some kindfulness. Okay, so I'm choosing some numbers so that we all can play a game together. So typing the numbers. So, my dear ones, before I share the number, the instructions for this game is I invite you guys to take your time and see which number will pop up first for you when I share the two numbers between which you guys have to choose or you guys want to choose. And once you guys have a number, share it in the comments. I will go through all your numbers and pick a number that my intuition is feeling most called to. Okay. So, this way we will get to connect with both of our intuitions and the universe can guide us in the best possible manner. So, yeah, pick a number between 13 to 86. No rush, take your time, just the number that pops up first. So, here you go. Thank you, Wendy, Bob, Blake, Eric. Anyone else? Thank you, Priscilla. Then I hope you do receive that guidance from this book. I guess this is the perfect book for that, Bob. Yeah, welcome, Priscilla. Okay, anyone else who wants to share a number and have a chance at receiving a reading? Priscilla says, I'm seeking a new job and I have an interview tomorrow. Then I am sending you all the luck, the confidence, the calm that you need for that interview, Priscilla. And I hope that If that job is the best fit for you, you know, that then it happens for you, that they select you. So let's see if there is any guidance related to that that wants to come through. Bob says, what's the author name again? It's Ajahn Brahm. Okay. And I might be mispronouncing the name, so I do write the name of the book and the authors in my group, which is called World of Wisdom. You can find it on my profile so that you get the correct, name. Um, but let me also type the name here. Thank you, David, for sharing a number. Priscilla says, I'm a school teacher stuck in a toxic school environment, so I greatly appreciate your support. I hope that you get to do what you love most in an environment that appreciates you, that supports you. So, yeah, hope that comes forth for you, Priscilla. I really do. Oh, Eric is also a teacher here. Yeah, it is, when we were like, when I was a student, I was like, okay, this is such an easy job. But now I know that this is like a really, tough job. So hats off to both of you. And I'm glad that such beautiful souls are there to educate, to be there for the future. Okay, so now we have, I think, five or six numbers. Anyone else who wants to share a number between 13 to 86? Otherwise, we will go with the numbers that are here. Mm, thank you, Michelle, for sharing a number. Exactly, I agree with Bob that you both have so much love and such a beautiful presence to offer. And I love how you both are appreciating each other, Eric and Priscilla. We all can have more and more of that. Okay, so now I am going to pick a number amongst the ones that were shared here. Mhm. Okay, so the number that I'm feeling most called to is 14, and the number has been chosen by Eric for all of us. Yay, Eric. Okay, so what is on page number 14? Hmm. So the heading is prioritizing kindfulness. So I think there is a story and it is related to school, maybe like college level school. So yeah, let's see. So the author says, at a famous business school some years ago, a professor delivered an extraordinary lecture on social economics to his graduate class. Without explaining what he was doing, the professor carefully placed a glass jar on his desk. Then, in view of his students, he brought out a bag full of stones and placed them one by one in the jar until no more would go in. He asked his students, is the jar full? Yes, they replied. The professor smiled. From beneath the desk, the professor produced a second bag. This one was full of gravel. He then managed to shake the smaller stones into spaces between the bigger stones in the jar. A second time, he asked the students, is the jar full? No, they answered. They were on to him by now. They were correct, of course, for the professor produced a bag of fine sand. He managed to coax much of the sand into the spaces between the stones and the gravel within the jar. Again, he asked, "Is the jar full?" "Probably not, Professor, knowing you," the students replied. Smiling at their answer, the professor brought out a small jug of water, which he poured into the glass full of stones, gravel, and sand. When no more water would fit in the jar, he put down the jug and looked at his class. "So, what does this teach you?" he asked his students. "That no matter how busy your schedule," offered one of the students, "you can always fit something more in." It was a famous business school after all. "No," thundered the thundered the professor emphatically. What emphatically, sorry. What it shows is that if you want to get the big stones in, you have to put them in first. It was a lesson in priorities. Please ensure that you scheduled in the precious stones first, or you will never get around to them to fit them into your day. So now there is a reflection at the end of the story. The reflection is: what are the big stones in your jar? What is most important to fit into your life? Can you find space for the precious stone of kindness? Hmm. So maybe take a look at your life and ask yourself, what is most important to me in this life? Or maybe as you start your day, you can ask yourself, what is most important to me today? What do I need to prioritize first? And in your to do list, if you write it down, if you have it mentally, place it at the first position so that there is always space for it. So, you know, uh, for daily journaling, you can ask yourself that what is one thing, if I get done today, then I would feel proud of myself by the end of the day, that I would feel productive, that I would feel I'm 1% better, that would make this day into a good day, a well done day. So, what is that one thing? And prioritize it and do it first. Or if you can't do it first, then have a time slot dedicated to it, meaning prioritize it first and then give allot the rest of the time of the day to other tasks. And same goes for your life. Like what is most important to me in life? Is it family? Is it, work? Is it being joyful? Is it being kind? And It can be a quality, it can be anything, and whatever comes to your mind, what is most important to you, and make sure that you prioritize it. Make sure that you place that stone in your jar every single day, that you do something about it, that you act in alignment with that, so that your life could feel more meaningful, more enriched. So that was our first reading, and that was what came up for me when I read that. So let me know, Eric and everyone else, you know, if it resonated with you. Is anything coming up for you? Did you learned any other lesson like that student who said that we could always fit something into our day no matter how busy we are? And and in alignment with that also, like, we can always make space for what is most important to us no matter how busy we are, because sometimes we say that I don't have time for it, but do you also not have 1 minute in your day to do that particular thing in the smallest way possible? So that is also one thing that occurred to me from that student's response, even if the professor said no, that wasn't the lesson that I was trying to make. But with the same story, we all can gain different lessons. A different message relevant to our situation might pop up from the same story. So see if something popped up for you. Eric says, yes, I must reflect. Yeah, take your time reflecting. I was speaking for the most part, so you might not have been able to do that right now, which is understandable. Okay, so it was a really nice story. I think I've watched some content around it. I don't remember, this particular lesson associated with that. So yeah. Ha, amazing. Jennifer has a list. David says, yes, me too. Okay, so Eric and David is making a commitment here that they're going to make space, make time for more reflection on this so that they can use their time, use their energy more wisely into pouring into those things that are most important to them. Jennifer says it's most important for me. So, this is a combination of what is important to Jennifer: science, spirituality, structure, intuition, rebellion, compassion, analysis, creativity, truth, tenderness. A lovely combination indeed. Amazing. Thank you, Jennifer, for taking this time to actually reflect, to act upon this message that arrived in the space, and to share it with all of us. It is encouraging for everyone to do that reflection now, even more. So, thank you. Bob says, as a druid, I do this for everything, everybody else but me. Okay, so you offer it to others but not yourself. Okay, so then maybe including yourself in that as well. Eric says a beautiful list, Jennifer. Yes, indeed it is. Okay, so now we're going to move on to our next reading after I take a sip of water. And now, again, bring to your mind whatever it is you need guidance on as we spin the wheel. Okay. Eric says that's good water. Yeah, it is good water. And I try to like use it, like drink it mindfully. So, yeah, that is also very relaxing. Nice of you to notice, Eric. Okay, so the book that came up is The Pocket Pema Chodron. Okay, so this is basically a collection of her teachings. And now let me open this collection so that we can gain some wisdom from her. So this is the cover of the book, and this is her. And now let me choose some numbers so that we can play a game together. Mm-hmm. Okay, typing the numbers. So, my dear ones, again, no rush. I invite you to take your time and pick a number between 11 to 109. Again, I'm going to choose a number randomly based on my intuition. That is why, no rush, take your time, see which number pops up first, share it in the comments. So, yeah, here you go. Thank you, Bob, Priscilla, David. Oh, we have double numbers. Now we're going to go with those then. So, guys, we're going with page number 18 because it came up for two people side by side. Amazing. So, let's see what really, really wants to come out from page number 18. Okay. So, the message is we don't need to change ourselves. Now, there is a reading beneath it to understand what the author is saying. So, the author says when people start to meditate or to work with any kind of spiritual discipline, they often think that somehow they're going to improve, which is sort of subtle aggression against who they really are. It's a bit like saying, if I jog, I will be a better person. If I could only get a nicer house, I would be a better person. If I could meditate and calm down, I would be a better person. Or the scenario may be that they find fault within others. They might say, if it weren't for my husband, I would have a perfect marriage. If it weren't for the fact that my boss and I can't get along, my job would be just great. And if it weren't for my mind, my meditation would be excellent. But loving kindness or maitri towards ourselves doesn't mean getting rid of anything. Maitri means that we can still be crazy after all these years. We can still be angry after all these years. We can still be timid or jealous or full of feelings of unworthiness. The point is not to try to change ourselves. Meditation practice isn't about trying to throw ourselves away and become something better. It's about befriending who we are already. The ground of practice is you or me or whoever we are right now, just as we are. That's the ground. That's what we study. That's what we come to know with tremendous curiosity and interest. Okay, so what is coming up for me from this reading were multiple things. First, you know, this that we don't need to change ourselves or someone else or our situation to be happy or to be peaceful or to to feel however you want to feel, whatever is your desired state, because you are giving away the control to that. You are placing the heavy burden of your happiness, of it provide, or of your expectations for it to provide happiness, peace, all of those beautiful feelings onto that thing, the thing that is not in your control. So instead of thinking that maybe in the future, when this happens, when this change, then I would be happy, then this would happen. We are giving away all of our control, and we don't necessarily know if this would make us happy. This is just an assumption in our head. So instead, coming back to a first reading that we did, which was making space for what is important, what you value into your life right now without needing for yourself to be different completely or for anyone else to change or for your situation to change. If there is something that is really, really important to you, then asking yourself, what is one small way in which I can incorporate this into my life right now? And this is how you might be able to feel more satisfied with your current life, because the goal that you have placed all of the burden of your expectations on may or may not lead to those feelings that you want. And I think created a reflection on this in a resource, which was this, yeah. So I created a very small course. In the first lesson, I added this reflection so you can see firsthand, you can experience firsthand that this type of thinking, that if only I have this, if only this change, if only this person change, if only I change, if only the situation change, then I will be this or that. So there's a reflection on that, and you can check it out and see if this applies to your life. And if it does, letting go of that kind of a thinking and trying to make, you know, changes in your current life right now to inculcate it right now, which is in your control. It doesn't mean stop making efforts to change your situation, to change yourself. We can't change other person, but we can communicate that to them so that they can change if they want the betterment of our relationship. So we make efforts in that direction, but we also make efforts in our current situation with our current self in whatever small possible way we can right now. And this is also, once we reflect that sometimes what we think this thing would give us that, and it doesn't, it might also be a reassurance that I don't need to put so much pressure onto this one goal to provide me everything that I want to feel, because maybe it won't, and I have the control to make myself feel that way right now without having to change the whole entire situation or my whole entire identity. So yeah, so that was what came up for me from this reading. Now let me see what are all the comments that poured in. But first, water. And one more thing, regarding like changing ourselves, because if we think about changing ourselves entirely, it won't be possible because it is seen as a threat to our to who we are. It would be like trying to eliminate ourselves, and our brain is like, okay, that is danger, that is a threat. So again, small actions, small things, by doing the things that the kind of person you want to become would do, you are, including that in your current reality while not changing your identity completely, while not throwing your whole system into like an alarm mode. So that is another like piece that dropped in my head to add. Okay, Silverback is in the house. Silverback says, may your day be filled with love, light, laughter, kindness, and intriguing joy. Thank you, Silverback, for these lovely wishes. Bob says, Priscilla, I will light my candle for you tomorrow or to support you in your present job. Many blessings. Love that, and how you included both situations. That is so very sweet of you, Bob. And that is a wonderful idea. Maybe we all can, send out a wish when we pray or when we meditate or whatever spiritual practice you do. And we can like send this kind of beautiful energy to Priscilla that may whatever is best for her happens tomorrow. Whatever she needs, arrives in her life tomorrow. So, yeah, let's do that for Priscilla. Okay, I hope that you guys would do that. That can be your act of kindness. And when we do something good for other people, it makes us feel good as well. So, yeah, we are going to do that for Priscilla. I'm going to do that, and Bob is also doing that. So, yeah, anyone else wants to join can do that as well. So, let's make sure Priscilla is smiling by the end of her day. Okay. Priscilla says, oh, thank you, friends. I sincerely appreciate you all. Oh, I'm so grateful. We all love you. So, that is the least that we all can do. Okay. Uh, the book name was The Pocket Pema Chodron. So, this is a collection, so this might not be a normal book. You can search for it, I'm not sure. Um, and I will like name the name again. I will mention the name of the exact book and the reading in my group, which is World of Wisdom. So you can check it out there if you need the exact names and everything. Bob says, you recommended a book recently about reasons to live. Yes, I did. And Bob says, I have now bought this. Amazing. Yeah, you mentioned that you saw it, like you saw it, I think, encountered it many times. So, yeah, I think I'm glad that you acted on that sign and you let it enter your life. Bob says, I saw it in the library and in three different charity shops, and now you finally have it with you. And I hope that, you know, provides you the support that you need in addition to everything else that you're doing, Bob. Thank you for sharing that with me. Jennifer says the practice of gratitude and the practice of self love feels deeply connected to me because both are acts of attention. What we consistent what we consistently tend to begins tend okay. Why I'm screwing this up. Okay, it's okay. I just need some water. Yeah. So Jennifer says, yeah, what we consistently tend to begins to expand. What we witness with care begins to reveal itself more fully. Self love works similarly, not performative self esteem, not hollow affirmations, I mean the quiet, repeated practice of turning towards myself with curiosity, reverence, patience, nourishment, protection, honesty, and care. The more I meet myself instead of abandoning myself, the more of me begins to emerge from beneath survival, conditioning, shame, exhaustion, and performance. Loved, loved that. Thank you for that share, Jennifer. And I love how you put that, this more beautiful piece to this reading that, when we meet those parts of ourselves that we don't really like, that we want to change, we move beyond our conditioning. We understand our conditioning. We understand all of this, why they emerge, what they are doing here, how they all are just trying to help me. And, from that place only, like just understanding that there is a beautiful feeling of self compassion or a related feeling that emerges from that reflection. And I just loved the share and how comprehensive it was. Thank you for sharing it. Okay. We missed your shares, Jennifer. You always um added a depth to our readings. So yeah, I missed you in this space and I'm glad that you're back. Okay. Let's see. Thank you, Priscilla, for this kind donation. I Now that you're sending this beautiful energy into the universe, this kindness, know that this is going to come back, this is going to ripple and, you know, ripple out into the world and then come back to you multifolds. So, thank you for supporting my work, for allowing me to do what I love. And I hope that, you know, things align so that you can do what you love. Okay, I think Saul shared something where you can find the books, and yeah, anything external would be deleted from here, not from my side, but from like the software side. So yeah, so no external links. Priscilla says, but yeah, I love your intention of helping Saul. Thank you for sharing it with Bob and anyone else who needed it. Priscilla says, I appreciate you so much, dear Anisha. So do I. Okay, I feel like hugging you. Okay, there's a small hug. Mm. May you feel held in this manner as you give your interview tomorrow. Okay, guys, I guess it is. Priscilla says, I've been so overwhelmed, so this is so needed. I'm crying, release. Before just when I read your comment, I was also getting a little teary for some reason. So, yeah, let them out, let that release that stress that have been building up in your body for so long. Mm. Let them out in the form of tears, in the form of sigh, movement, whatever it is that you need, Priscilla. Bob says, I started crying at 8 a.m. today. And it's okay, you know, yeah, let them out. There's so much that wants to be released. So just let all of that energy that is getting extra in your body to be released in some way. You can cry in the morning, in the evening, in the afternoon, in the night, whatever, whenever you need that. It is okay to cry. It is helpful to cry. So, yeah, just let it out. David says, I'm needing this beautiful energy today. This is always a wonderful start to my day. Thank you. And it is lovely, lovely to have you here, David. You have a beautiful energy. So thank you for bringing that into the space. And I'm glad that you like being here. You like starting your day here. That means a lot to me. It really does, knowing that. Okay. Sal says, greatest years of wonderful memories, Bob. Such a blessing. That is a beautiful way to see it. Thank you, Saul, for sharing that. Priscilla says, I'm in the bed in the early morning crying. Thank you. Oh, Saul is also sending a hug to Priscilla. Beautiful. That is amazing. You guys are so, so wonderful. Okay. As much as I love staying with you guys, I need to end this this live now. So, my dear, amazing, beautiful, wonderful souls, thank you so much for spending your time with me. I hope that this space offered you whatever it is you needed. And I hope to see you back again day after tomorrow. And Mm, okay. And if you guys want a quick summary of what we do, what we did here, what we covered here, you can find it in my group on Inside Timer, like on my profile. So let me show that to you guys. So you can go to the home section, then you scroll down, down and down, down and down. At the bottom, you will see this group with 135 beautiful beings called World of Wisdom. So, here I will share a summary of what all we covered within like 10-15 minutes or so. And if you guys like the way I guided today's practice, or you want to check out what all I have to offer, you can do it in two places. The first is the playlist section. I have 5 playlists. You can go through them, check them out, see if something resonates. This is regarding mindfulness meditation challenge. This is a nervous system regulation techniques playlist, just like the one we did at the start. And I'm going to add a total of 100 tools here so that you have every tool needed for every situation. So, yeah, you can save it so that you get access to all of them. Then there is this little reminders for you. And here I have short mini tracks with soothing, relaxing, reassuring words and, you know, with the aim to shift your perspective for the common negative thoughts like I'm not good enough, I'm a failure, and so on. And then finally, we have this playlist called Therapy Tools and Techniques, and it involves like various techniques from different psychotherapies. So I'm sharing these tools so you have what you need, the right resources when you're going through a certain problem. So you can check these out. There are like few more videos that got added today. They were released today only. So again, you can save it so that you know have all the tools in one place. You can go to that. So this is one place where you can access all of my offerings. Then there is the courses section. So there are 7 courses you can explore on your own time. They are related to negative thoughts, mindfulness, and stuff like that. So you can see if you find something of value. And if you want to know more, then go to the About section, scroll down. At the bottom, you will see this, and here you can find more of my offerings. So, this is all that I have to share. And if you want me to continue doing these lives, then there are two ways to support me. You can either donate, because every contribution helps me to keep all of this and all of my resources, that creation going on. Or you can simply listen to my content to share it with your friends, because that is another thing that helps me keep going, both financially as well as emotionally, more emotionally, because I create these resources for you. So it means a lot to see you guys using them, to see that, okay, they are being of some help to you. So, yeah, this is what I wanted to share. Now, let me go through the comments quickly and then we will wrap, we will end this live. Bob says, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Anisha. I will check out the pain and mindfulness. I hope that, you find that approach helpful, Bob. Thank you for being open to checking it out. Saul says, you have got this. Transition will be great to your new opportunity. Love that. Thank you, Soul, for the encouragement. Okay. Jennifer says, wishing everyone a beautiful day filled with small glimmers, steady breath, good conversations, soft moments, and reasons to smile unexpectedly. I love the last one. May all of them, but the last one more. May you move through today with a little more presence, a little more gratitude, and a little more kindness towards yourself and others. Thank you for this beautiful wish, Jennifer. And thank you so much for your kind contribution, David. Thank you for your continued support. It means a lot to me to have you here and to see you, supporting me to help me continue all of this. So thank you. It means so, so much. It does. Um, let's see. So says she who swims with dolphins always rides the waves effortlessly. Ah, soul is offering like lovely, lovely, pieces. Huh. Thank you, Soul, for your, you know, amazing comments. I can't find the right word. But yeah, I love your presence in this space. So thank you. um, David says, you're helping me every day. Thank you. I, I'm speechless. So yeah, I just. Okay. So thank you so much, each and every one of you, for spending your precious time in the space with me and everyone. I bow down to the divine within all of you. Namaste. May you all be safe. May you all be healthy. May you all feel held and supported. May you all feel lucky and grateful. So that's it for today. I hope to see you guys day after tomorrow. Till then, take care. Bye bye. Namaste, David. Bye.